Only 6 defeats, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 170 pounds. He fights out of Muldrow, Oklahoma, by way of Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Introducing Brian Foster.
He's good on the ground and on his feet. Against a guy like Shields, though, avoid the ground game. Using footwork and movement, short combination attacks with movement right after. When it does go to the ground, use your own submission skills to avoid getting submitted.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, on my left, fighting out of the red corner, his record, 30 wins, 7 defeats, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet tall, also weighs 170 pounds, fights out of San Francisco, California, by way of Mountain Ranch, California, presenting Jake Shields.
Jake knows his opponent lost 5 times by way of submission, and for Shields, that's his bread and butter, so wait for power shots from his opponent to set up a takedown, or push the fight looking for a clinch. Once on the ground, use his submission skills.
Fair fight, obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Now hook him up.
Steve Mazzagatti in charge of the action for this one. The main event of the night, World Series of Fighting 17. The lovely Michelle gets us started here in Las Vegas.
Right, here we go. Now bring it on, come on.
How about this matchup? This is a good one. Gladiators collide in Las Vegas tonight. Shields in the blue trunks, Foster in the black trunks.
Oh, nice counter there by Foster. Moved out of the way, used an angle, and boom. Hit, oh, back kick to the body. If that's going to connect. This is what Jake wants. See, takes the striking away. Only knees now are there. Foster looking for a trip.
And Jake Shields in his mind right now is looking for anything to end this fight. Any kind of submission, any kind of opening. And we know one thing for certain, Bas Rutten. The winner gets Rousimar Palhares and a shot at the welterweight title belt.
Yes, nicely done here. Look at that. Foster just kept the momentum going and put Shields on his back. And then was smart. And this was exactly what I say. Wait for the power shots of your opponent. Use that to set up a takedown. Look, right away he moves to the side. Foster's not crazy though. He says, now I want you back at least in half guard here. Shields is working again. Foster should throw him to the right now. Explode as hard as you can.
Brian
you
Foster,
can use your side if you need to push up.
Brian Foster's a very talented fighter, boss, with 27 victories, 10 KOs, 10 submissions. Now, it is worth noting that he did take an extended leave from MMA after a brain hemorrhage. Now, a plethora of tests took place. They took him to the Cleveland Clinic, countless doctors, and he has been cleared to go.
That's a good thing. When he did a plethora of tests, like El Wapo would say that, a plethora of tests. It's almost like he's looking for a side choke to set it up, Jake Shields is.
And Shields really,
he might have it.
Minimizing the power of Foster right now in his position.
He might go for it. He's going to clasp together and he's going to jump to the right side of Foster. I have no clue why he's not going for the side choke now. But Foster keeping his arm there, maybe he's baiting him. Oh, you see, he was.
Wow, took the back. Took the back. So Jake Shields taking the back of Brian Foster, and if you're in the corner of Brian Foster, you got to be thinking, this is not the best case scenario for us.
It's a very, very bad case right now. A bad scenario. He's like a snake. He's got 2 minutes to go, 10 seconds.
That's it. That is all in Vegas.
We see this so many times now. They go around the jaw of the opponent. opponent, and they pull the jaw of the opponent in his own throat, and that makes the choke. I mean, it's crazy. More often are we seeing this right now. I do it a little different. Long explanation, not even going to go into that, but this was really nicely done.
Bas Rutten, you cannot follow the Cobra down the snake hole when that Cobra is Jake Shields, because he will make you pay, and Brian Foster just found out about it. Shields completely neutralizes the power that Brian Foster had in those gloves, got him to the ground, and then it was submission game time.
That's it. And what I say in the opening is, whatever you do, avoid the ground game against a guy like Jake Shields, especially if you lost 5 times by way of submission. That means that's probably not against the guy who is as good as Jake Shields.
One of the best in the business, Jake Shields, working the submission game. And he knows one thing for certain, Rousimar Palhares is waiting. Here it is one more time, the setup.
Now they tell him to go back on his hip, his corner. He slaps around. And what? You see, it's not underneath, but he pulls his own jaw. He's arching all the way back. That's why he leaves a space behind him so he can arch more backwards, because if you do it on your back, you can't arch as high.
And what's so effective about this, Bas, is most people are used to seeing the rear naked choke with the arm underneath the chin. This time, he's got it on the chin, so is he driving that chin back in and shutting off the air?
That's what he does. Normally when I would do that, I grab the point of my elbow and I pull that with the other hand, close it also. But listen, Jake just showed now the whole world, okay, this is not a fluke. You know, I think he did it last time also in Canada.
Against Ryan Ford.
Yep.
World Series of Fighting 14, Ryan Ford found out in the rear naked choke.
And that one also, same thing.
Unbelievable performance by Jake Shields, getting the win in round number 1. We'll have the official decision and talk to Jake when we return to Las Vegas. This presentation of World Series of Fight. This presentation of World Series of Fighting 17 from Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas has been brought to you by Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino, Las Vegas. By ProSubs, results period. And by Everlast Hydrate Elite, the choice of champions. And here's how it ended. World Series of Fighting 17. Jake Shields with yet another submission added to his resume. This time the victim, Brian Foster. It comes in the first round, and there it was, boss. He slipped in that left. Foster didn't see it coming, applies it heavy on the jaw, and there's the tap, and the fight ends. With the official decision, we send it inside the cage. Here is Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 2 minutes and 51 seconds of round number 1. Your winner, Jake Shields.
So Shields gets the win over Foster just over halfway through round number 1, boss, and he gets it done.